This is a skateboarder with absolutely zero experience snowboarding. And the question is, can I learn to go down a black slope with only 24 hours to practice? Well, what do you think? There's going to be bails, crashes and edge catches as I'm trained by a group of snowboarders to hit my first black run ever with no prior experience. But there's a catch, because this isn't a regular skateboard and it's specially designed to emulate snowboarding on concrete, and so you can think of it as a snowboard trainer for people who don't live near mountains. But it wasn't always known for sure that they'd actually help you learn to snowboard. You see, there were tales and examples of people who knew how to freeboard who then got on a snowboard and knew how to do it, but none of it was actually recorded. And so flashback one year, I decided I'd learn how to ride these kinds of skateboard in order to see if it actually helps you to learn to snowboard. And if you're like me and you've never snowboarded before, you're probably wondering how it's even possible to emulate snowboarding on concrete. Well, it does this by effectively reproducing the important aspects of a snowboard, and most importantly in this are your heel side and toe side edges, and the frictionless base that glides over the snow. And both these aspects are achieved with a spinning caster wheel at the bottom of the board. They're closer to the ground than the edge wheels, and so you get a rocking sensation from each edge. And just like snowboarding, the skills involved with freeboarding are to hold the right edge at the right time. So you'll want your weight over the blue arrow, not the red arrow, otherwise you'll catch the edge and pay the price. So what can you actually practice on a freeboard before ever going snowboarding? Well, the most obvious would be learning to hold your toe side and heel side edges. Learning this first on the freeboard would mean that you'd know the basics of snowboarding before ever hitting the slopes. You'd know how to hold each edge and not to catch the wrong one as you ride down. Another classic freeboard trick that you can port immediately over to snowboarding is the standard freeboard spin, which other than just spinning around involves a switch from your heel side to your toe side edges depending on whether you do the spin front side or back side. I mean, to be honest, the list of things you can port from freeboarding to snowboarding is incredibly long, and I've covered these at length already on the channel. But we all want to know whether you can go down a black run with zero experience. So after travelling to the slopes and getting our boards ready, we were ready to get going with this challenge.
We are going to be seeing whether it's possible to clear a black run on a snowboard with no prior experience snowboarding. Now, as a lot of you will know, I've spent the last year practicing snowboarding on concrete using this incredible board known as a freeboard. So that's it, we have 24 hours to clear a black run with no prior experience snowboarding. Let's see what we can get.
The first challenge was getting off the ski lift.
Attention! Oh là là!
I have to admit that I was actually very scared to get on and get off the ski lift for the first time, and I don't think that you can prepare for this just by freeboarding. This and the 1 foot push technique was not something that I'd practiced before, but in hindsight, if you want to go through the same process as me, you can definitely practice this on the freeboard. You keep your front foot in and push with your back foot from behind, and you can see Quentin doing it in a variety of his freeboard montages. We arrived at the top for the first run, which would be a blue slope. The fact that your feet are strapped in, the material you're riding on is a lot softer, making edge-to-edge transitions a lot smoother, made snowboarding a fair bit different to freeboarding, but I still felt confident trying a lot of the things that I'd learned on the roads. So as we made it to the bottom of the first run, the goal was really to try and convert freeboard to snowboard. Other than redistributing my weight to be a little bit more front heavy than I would on a freeboard, all it took was a fair bit of falling over. An obvious benefit to snowboarding is how much more forgiving it is than falling on a freeboard, but I definitely advise you to get crash pants if you're going to try snowboarding from having only freeboarded. And actually, since this trip snowboarding, I've started to wear these while freeboarding as well. After the first run down, Patrice noticed something that I'd brought from freeboarding to snowboarding.
So hard. You even have the luxury to look if you don't cut anyone. What the fuck, man? I don't even do that.
Patrice is a very well-known freeboarder, and the aspect of freeboarding that he's mentioning here is really having your line of sight separate from the lower half of your body. If you watch any video of a decent freeboarder, you'll notice that the lower half of their body really does move independently to the upper half. Because although it's useful to use your line of sight to control where you're going at the start when you're first learning, once you're really used to riding the freeboard, it's nice to have the freedom to look wherever while the board is going in any other direction. I should also mention that Patrice is a bit of a beast on the snowboard as well as the freeboard, so he's got each of the sports improving the other one simultaneously. In any case, if you're learning to freeboard, it's always useful to try looking back once in a while to get used to the fact that you don't actually need to be looking exactly where you're going in order to keep going in the same direction. This is incredibly useful when freeboarding if there's cars around, and it's useful in snowboarding because there's skiers around. In any case, once I got used to the basics, I got a little overconfident and made a crucial mistake. You see, it was roughly my second or third run down, and I thought I was capable enough to start riding in switch. you know, the crash wasn't that bad. It was what happened after when I tried catching up with the others straight away. And it took me a very long time to realise. But we were very lucky because there was actually a skier who came by and noticed the camera in the snow and picked it up. It's only thanks to this guy that this video even exists, because it was very close to being lost in the snow forever.
Merci. Ouais, ça y est, c'est bon. Putain. Still filming.
Oh, nice. Parfait, ça.
So after that little interruption, we continued riding for the rest of the day. I have to say, it is quite incredible how much riding you can get done in a single day while snowboarding when compared to freeboarding, especially if you're not used to going up in cars. The ski lifts reset you so high up, and you spend most of your time riding rather than walking back up the hill. By the end of the first day, we'd got used to a lot of the differences between snowboarding and freeboarding. They'd explained a few of the things that I was doing wrong, and although my riding was still definitely at beginner level, I did feel like it might be possible to get down a black slope the next day. But upon waking up, I did feel slightly apprehensive. So this is it, the end of the 24 hours. It's time to see whether we can hit a black slope. Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go, but you know, yesterday went quite well, a lot of falling over, but we think that it might be possible, so let's see what we can get. As you can probably hear, I was exhausted after that first day snowboarding, and if you want to learn to freeboard before snowboarding, I really don't think anything can prepare you for just how exhausting snowboarding is. Battling with the snow really does demand everything from you, and is a lot more demanding than battling with roads, which you definitely can get on a freeboard if it's not very smooth, like this. It just really doesn't hit as hard as the layers of snow hitting against your snowboard. But once we'd reached the top of the mountain, we were ready to see if 24 hours of learning snowboarding was enough to hit a black slope.
Alright, this is it, the first black run. I have been snowboarding for about 24 hours. We did a full day yesterday, from open to close, and today we've just warmed up, and this is it. We're going to see if it's possible to do a black run on a snowboard with absolutely no experience snowboarding in 24 hours. I'm stoked for this run. So much time has gone into learning to freeboard. It's honestly going to be incredible. I can't wait to see it. I mean, I might be bailing, who knows, but I mean, let's do it.
At this point, nerves were definitely high, as you can't know what to expect.
The snow's not too bad.
It started to get a lot steeper, and carving wasn't enough, and the only option was letting go.
I'll try some speed here. Let's go!
The goal was to get to the bottom of the black run, and although I definitely did a fair few frontside overslides, or falling leaps as snowboarders call them, it was great to have a section where I let go as much as I felt comfortable doing, having only snowboarded for 24 hours. And after making my way to the bottom of the black run, we decided the challenge was complete.
He started yesterday morning and we are today midday. And we started late today, so it's less than 24 hours.
I think now it's conclusive. Freeboarding is snowboarding on concrete. Let's go. Freeboard 2024!
Look, the point of this video isn't really about the challenge, it's more to just demonstrate how incredibly crazy freeboarding is, and how you should seriously be considering getting one this year. And maybe the past peak of freeboard is long gone, but there has never been a better time to get started. With an incredibly cheap second-hand market, and on the side of buying new, there's this incredibly futuristic kind of freeboard with springs to make it even more like snowboarding than any of the old freeboards. For the same price as a few days of lift tickets, this really is a no-brainer in my opinion. I mean, the argument is simple. Bad day at work, or chance to go looking for local snow slopes in the sun. It doesn't even have to be snowy. I mean, the only reason I can see why freeboard hasn't taken off yet is because it is difficult to learn, and I guess the dangers of catching an edge are quite scary as a beginner. But look, that's all worth it because you get to spin in the sun in the middle of the road in Greece where you've never been before, hang around with some random people that you've never met who you know you're going to get on with solely on the fact that you share the same interests. That's what freeboarding is. So for those of you that have stayed to the end of the video, I have a very special announcement to make. Freeboard are going to be supporting the Easy Riders channel with an affiliate link, so that if you're interested in getting into freeboarding in 2024 and you buy through this link, you'll be supporting the channel so that I can help make even better content in the next year to come. I really think we haven't even scratched the surface of how good the content for freeboard can get. So I'll leave you guys with a year in review and a little celebration. I hope you stick around for more, but more importantly that you enjoyed the video and have a good one.
And now, rip We have a wonderful surprise for you.
Make the mic live.
Resurrection.
Yo. So today we're gonna go to the first day of actual riding. What's the plan of action? We're gonna be exploring some new spots. We're on another freeboard adventure. So hopefully I can help you do it as well if you've got a freeboard.
Oh, jumping. Did you do it, man?
You've got I told him I was going to race him to the top, but you might be able to see him through the window as he comes up. He thinks that you can actually win the race when the stairs are actually just so much faster. I'll tell him he almost won.
Yo! Yo! Yo!
We're going to prove once and for all that freeboarding teaches you to snowboard without ever touching snow. I have literally never snowboarded before. Like, hear the sound on his first day out! Let's go and learn some freeboarding ourselves. So we are almost there. It's actually quite far from where I live. So we've got a freshly paved road and we're going to try and freeboard to the bottom. Let's go. All right, so this is it. We're at 999 subscribers. It's been a year. So let's see if we can get ready for 1,000. We've got the champagne, so the waiting game. Still waiting. Oh, that's it. Well, that's it. Get this out. Freeboard 2024. This is going to be a big year for freeboard, I think. So let's go. Hey! That's it. Easy riders. 1,000.